And we continue to unpack what happened with the Blues inside the bubble. Welcome to the Kilcoyne Conversation. Martin Kilcoyne with you. We're going to talk to the Blues head coach, Craig Berube. Get Chiefs' thoughts on a number of topics. What happened there with the exit? You know, I think the word that you'll hear in this interview that stood out to me, the one word that stood out, was iffy. He described some of his players. He said, I think some of them were iffy about being here, and I pushed and said, does that mean they didn't want to be there? He said, they just, for whatever reason, weren't, I'm paraphrasing now, but weren't that into it. And I think we could see that in the way they played, which is surprising because normally when a team bows out, you look at the veterans, the stars, and say, where were they? Well, you got a great playoff out of Ryan O'Reilly, David Perron. Schwartz was really good. Shen was good. But it didn't add up. So Chiefs going to talk about all that and the future of Alex Pietrangelo. How do you game plan right now? Thinking you might have your captain, you might not have your captain. And if Petro's not here, what does that do for Justin Falk? And how much of an adjustment year did he have? What about Vladimir Tarasenko's health? Binnington in net. What happened in the bubble with Binnington? I'll tell you one that the Chief does not bite on when I said, do you ever play the what-if game? What if there is no COVID shutdown? Because the Blues were the top team in the West. Everything comes to a crashing halt. They come back, and they just can't quite get going again. But you can imagine Craig Berube doesn't really play the what-if game. The Kilcoyne Conversation presented by Appliance Discounters. And I recommend you get online, theappliancediscounters.com. And that's the best place to look at the merchandise, talking about GE, whether it's a washer and dryer, a refrigerator, all of the great-looking material, those appliances, are online at theappliancediscounters.com. It talks all about their locations, but the GE products, that's a great name for so many years, and make sure you get your GE products here in town, your appliances at Appliance Discounters. On the web, it's theappliancediscounters.com. Marita Villa Senior Living is at the corner of Clayton and Weidman Road since 1960, providing premium senior living. Just a great spot. Always festive with the fountains going on. Hopefully in October, Cardinals are playing a little playoff baseball. The red fountains will be on. Take a virtual tour, whether it's your parents, grandparents, doesn't matter. mariedevilla.com. And the hockey conversation always gets the interest of our friends at B&G Tuck Pointing. They're the best in the bricks. What does that mean? If you've got a brick chimney, you've got the brick home, garage, doesn't matter. Maybe it's starting to crumble a little bit. You need some tuck pointing, mortar, foundation repair, waterproofing. B&G Tuck Pointing does all of that. Get them on the web at bgtuckpointing.com. And our longtime sponsor, Triad Bank. They are based here. They were started here in St. Louis in 2005. Triadbanking.com is the website. And in person, Clayton Road in Frontenac. It's about a block west of Lindbergh, real close to the intersection of Highway 40 and Lindbergh. And because they're based in St. Louis, they can get those decisions made pronto. We appreciate all of our great sponsors on the Kilcoyne Conversation. And right now, let's get to it with the Blues head coach, Craig Berube. Chief, how much time have you had to kind of reflect on what happened in the bubble? How much do you kind of go over it in your head and try and figure out, what didn't work?
Well, I've had quite a bit of time now. Talking to, all the players, I think, sitting down with them and having conversation with them and the coaching staff and Doug, obviously, it was nothing we didn't already know. Like, to be honest with you, we didn't play well enough as a team. Yeah, there was individuals that did really well and played really well, but if you want to keep advancing in the playoffs, you need a team, and your team has to perform at a high level. And we didn't perform at a high enough level.
Your good buddy Ken Hitchcock used to always use the phrase, the buy-in. Did enough guys, and because of the weirdness of it all, was the buy-in there across the board? Do you think some guys just couldn't quite, that it didn't feel like the real deal?
Well, that's part of it. I think it didn't with no fans and things like that. It was a different feel for sure. But you're a professional athlete. Your job is to get bought in and to, deal with all kinds of adversity and get through it. And my job as a coach is to get those guys to do it too, and I didn't. So it all goes hand in hand. I think we all failed, and we got to do better next time. We got to get better. That's the way I look at it. I thought we had a real good year, but obviously, the playoffs this year wasn't good enough.
What would you do differently in the bubble? Anything?
I'm not sure there is anything really to do differently. I think that, as a coaching staff, I thought that we pushed, pretty hard, and we tried to get everybody dialed in, and we had good meetings and practices and things like that. But, in the end, it's up to the individual to, really get dialed in and do the job. And we had too many guys that maybe I don't think were capable of it. They weren't probably in good enough shape, maybe. And just other guys just didn't get the performance that was needed out of them.
Is it surprising too when you look, and a lot of times when a team gets bounced, you'll look at the star players and say they didn't show up, but O'Reilly was really good, Perron was really good, Schwartz was good, Shen was very good. I mean, is that a little surprising? If I told you beforehand that those guys would play well, you would think that would add up to more.
Well, I would. I think that defensively, we didn't perform at a high enough level. I thought that we gave Vancouver too many free goals that could have been easily defended, a save, anything like that. That would have made a big difference. That might have been a difference in the series right there. So defensively, I didn't think we were good enough as a team. That cost us. And like I said, we needed more individuals to be bought in and to play better.
Tell us a little bit about life in the bubble. I mean, none of us were there. Was it boring? What did you do? Like if the first stretch too, there was a lot of downtime. I mean, there's no just hanging at the hotel bar with your buddies. I mean, what did you do to pass the time?
Yeah, I mean, the first part of it, we had to go to a practice rink every day, which is about a half hour away, bus ride. So that takes time to get out there, go through stuff, go through practice. That eats a lot of the day up. So, so that was part of it, the first part of it. And it was a little bit slow because we'd play a game they wouldn't play for 2-3 more days. So we didn't get that, constant day in between and play again, which it's important to have. And then, you just try to, players would do whatever. There's simulators in there, golf simulators you could go, or you could go watch games. And I know I went and watched a lot of games. Our players had a suite, and I saw a lot of our players up there watching games too. So that was part of it. You could kill time doing that. And then, you go for dinner and just hang out a little bit. There's a few different restaurants you could go to. So we had some team meals and things like that too. So you find a way to pass time. It is what it is.
What do you think, on the whole, the job the league did? I mean, the reviews, in terms of controlling the virus and having the bubble, it seems like, disappointment for Blues fans aside, it seems like the league's done a pretty good job pulling this off.
Oh, definitely. I thought it was excellent. I think that it was very well run. I thought it was the testing was great. They made sure that they were good. They did a real good job, the league, I thought. We had a nice setup. There was nothing to complain about. It was very well run.
And looking at your team next year, the biggest question, of course, is with the captain. How involved can you be? I know that's a Doug Armstrong situation, but do you and him talk about it, what the team would look like with a Petro, without a Petro, and how do you handle that situation?
Yeah, we definitely discuss that, but it's Doug and Petro to get something done. I'm hoping they will. I think we all know we want to keep Petro. He wants to be here, I think. So everybody wants to make it work, and it's all boils down to money and years and things like that. So that's up to those guys. And but Doug obviously talks to me about the situations and with or without him, and we all know we're a better team with him.
Yeah, and as a coach, you're sitting down, scribbling who's on your roster. That's if he's not there. We understand it's business, it's money, but how big a blow is it to your team in terms of overall talent?
Well, we have capable players of, filling in and doing a job, I think. And when somebody at, that level and high level player leaves, there's another individual or two individuals that they're going to get a real opportunity to play at a higher level because they're going to be put in better situations you got to look at it that way. So you don't know until you see a player put in that situation. And we have some guys that definitely, would like to be put in that situation. So that's the way I look at it. If we do lose Petro, we have players, that are waiting to be put in that role.
The best in the bricks. It's more than just a slogan. Why not make your home or garage or chimney look its best by fixing the bricks? That's what B&G Tuck Pointing can do for you. Bricks look their best with proper tuck pointing. Call Rich Galati and his team at 314-363-0525. And by team, of course, we include his daughters, Bella and Gabrielle. Or go online, bgtuckpointing.com, a proud St. Louis-based company that supports the hometown St. Louis Blues. Yes, they love their hockey. Chimney repair, foundation repair, caulking, waterproofing. They do it all. Have you driven around St. Louis? We have a lot of brick buildings, and if they need repair, you know who to call. Consider me among the many satisfied customers. Call 363-0525, 363-0525, or go online, bgtuckpointing.com, and find out what it means to be the best in the bricks. You love sports? Sure. But what you really love is a winning team and a great story. That's exactly what you get with Appliance Discounters. It started with just 3 employees. One location, 3 employees. Denise Bradley, her husband John, her brother Tony. That's it. More than a decade ago. And for years, you've heard me talking about them. Here's why. My dishwasher, it's a Bosch, the quietest dishwasher on the market. Remember Grandma's dishwasher always, That's not what's going on with us. We got it at Appliance Discounters. Our washer, our dryer, our stove, and our refrigerator, and Electrolux. Yes, the Kilcoynes put these babies to the test. During the quarantine, the MVP at our house, the dishwasher, it got a workout. We've got big name brands we're talking about at a great price. St. Charles, Baldwin, Maplewood, South County, and in the city. The best bet, just get online. theappliancediscounters.com. Our savings are your savings. And most of the people watching closely thought that Justin Falk was really good in that playoff series. Give me an idea of his season and maybe dealing with some of the pressure. I mean, he was kind of thrown into it, struggled early, got better late. And what do you see from him maybe even moving forward? Do you think this was sort of an adjustment year?
No, definitely. I think that he came from a team where he was like put in those situations where Petro was in. But, we had players that played at a high level and before he got here, and we're in those situations. So it was a little bit tough for him, I think, to take a lesser role, power play and different things. But he's a great team guy, and he understood that the team comes first, and he accepted it. And as the year went along, I thought he got better and better and more comfortable in his role. I thought he had a real good playoffs. I thought he played well in the bubble. So there's a guy there like that was definitely, would love a bigger role in our team. So that's the way you got to look at those things.
As a coach, and I know you're pretty straightforward, no nonsense. Any time during the season where you talk to him and say, hey, just relax a little bit. You got the deal done. I mean, because I'm sure part of it is there's pressure when you sign a big deal and you're new in town and the team's already won and even some of the celebrations, he's there, but he wasn't part of it. Did you have to do much talking off ice?
I did, and so does Mike Van Ryn. He runs a D, so Mike's in contact with those guys quite a bit. But I definitely have conversations with him too about things. But Falker's a real team guy, and there's not a lot of complaining going on with him. He understood and understands the situation. He's a pretty level-headed guy and doesn't allow the pressure to get to him that much. So he's a pretty dialed-in athlete, I think. And like I said, he's a real team guy. He didn't try to cause issues or anything like that. He did what we asked him to do, And you can't ask for much more than that. I think that he was a very good teammate. And like I said, as the year went along, I thought he played better and better, and he did his job and his role.
I think everyone feels good about the resume of Jordan Binnington. What do you think? Think he can shake off what happened there? And what do you think happened? I know some of it was guys didn't play well in front of him, but I think he would say I could have played better. What did you see from Binnington?
Yeah, I think he started off pretty well in the round robin games. I thought he played 2 good games. And then, it was kind of like our team. He was a little bit in and out in the first round against the Canucks, and didn't perform at a high enough level like a lot of our guys. So, he was part of the team and didn't play well enough. Do I think he can recover? Absolutely. I have complete faith in him. He's done it before. He's going to go here in the off season. He's going to get dialed back in, and he'll be ready to go. I don't see an issue there at all.
And if Tarasenko's healthy, there's a 30-goal scorer, one of the top scorers in the league. If he's not healthy, that's another piece that would be huge, that would be missing. How do you guys kind of base your roster for next year and trying to figure out where Vladdy's at in terms of health?
Well, I mean, it depends on when we start. So, like from now with the surgery and everything going forward, there's a map laid out of how long it's going to take to rehab and things like that. So it'll depend on when we start back up. But when we get Vladdy back, he's healthy and ready to go, and hopefully it's fixed and everything's good. Like you said, we get a real good hockey player back.
How much do you guys lean on, hey, we've won before? And you can say that, hey, this team has got a Stanley Cup recently. And then what part of you as a coach says, all right, let's stop talking about that? And is there a balance?
Well, I think we stopped talking about it last year. I think like at the beginning of the camp, we talked about it, and we didn't really talk about it a lot. Yeah, the first month and a half, there was a lot of things that went on that involved the cup and things you got to do. So it was constantly coming up. But after that, I thought our guys did a great job of moving on. This is a new season. You got to go and prove yourself again, and you got to play. And I thought our players did a great job. We were first on our side, the West, tough division. So we had 3 8-game winning streaks, I believe, throughout that season. So there's a lot of real good stuff. That was without Tarasenko for most of the year, well, all the year pretty much, other than 10 games. So, I think our team performed at a very high level. So I think they did turn the page on winning the cup and understanding that, you got to go and prove it and do it again. This is a tough league. I think that, top to bottom, it's pretty close, to be honest with you. If you get in the playoffs, you have a chance to win.
The fountains and flags outside invite you in. Once inside, it's obvious what makes Marita Villa so special. It's the people that live there and the people that work there. I know for a fact it's a fun place to visit, been there many times over the years for special events, and you can tell the residents love it as well. Welcoming atmosphere, providing all types of senior living, independent living, skilled nursing, memory care. Marie de Villa Senior Living, that's what we're talking about. A single location. That means ownership is hands-on. The residents here are considered guests, and trust me, they feel that way. The beautiful grounds make it more of a campus-type atmosphere. I love calling it the Marie de Villa campus, located at the corner of Clayton and Weidman Road. I guarantee you've driven by there, probably seen the fountains going. Red for October baseball, blue when the Blues are deep into a playoff run. It's a family-owned facility. It's been in business since 1960, and for so many years, it was home to the Cardinals legend, Red Shandians. I encourage you to take a virtual tour or simply to read more about this special place. Go to mariedevilla.com. Any part of you ever wonder, boy, if we didn't have the interruption, we were the top team in the West. If the way things were rolling along, you guys would have been in great shape rolling into the playoffs. Vladdy would have been coming back. I know shit happens, but was there any part of you that just wonders, what if?
Yeah, a little bit. I mean, nobody wanted anything to stop. I think that, looking at how things are going for us, we're on a pretty good roll at the time, going into the playoffs again, which is important. I think you look at last year, the role we were on going into the playoffs, that means a lot. Like, I think, that momentum going into the playoffs is huge. I really truly believe that. So I like the way we were playing at the time, but look, I don't dwell on things. I mean, that it is what it is. And again, the stoppage and coming back, I think we're just a little bit iffy about it all. And when you're iffy about anything and you're not totally bought in, you're probably not going to succeed.
When you say iffy, you think some guys it just felt too weird?
Well, I think there's a lot of issues that gone into it. The new CBA, and there were just a lot of things that made it iffy. And like I said, if you're not totally bought in 100% to doing something, it's tough to win, especially in this league, because it's too close of a league. The teams are too good. Like I said, any team that gets into the playoffs has an opportunity to win.
More painful, losing the playoffs or finding out the kids are going to be homeschooling again?
Well, losing in the playoffs for me, I mean, I get it could be tough with the kids homeschooling at times, but you got to enjoy the moments with your kids and stuff like that. So losing out for me is tough. I just blame myself for most of it. I'm the coach and I'm supposed to lead our guys, and I got to do a better job. That's the way I look at it. Players have to play better, but I got to do a better job too.
And normally when the season ends, it's your downtime and you can run up to Calahoo or hang out or go fishing. Yeah. But it's kind of weird, isn't it? The season ends, the school year's up and running. Will you get to do anything fun here?
Well, I mean, to be honest with you, we do a lot of stuff around home here and hang out. I golf quite a bit, so the golf course isn't too far away. I get out and play golf, a little bit during the week, and then just being busy with the kids and stuff like that. So that's good for me. I mean, I think it's important. I'm away from my kids a lot, so to be around them and enjoy them is fun.
Final thought, how good of future do you think the Blues have? How good do you feel about your foundation with the franchise here?
Well, I feel real good. Like I said, we got a pretty good foundation. If you look at, our core group of guys and our young guys coming that are going to be good players, it takes time for them. But, our core group is at a perfect age right now, I believe, to win and to win more. And they're pretty dialed in guys, pretty good, pretty and really highly competitive people. And to me, that's one of the most important things is having highly competitive people that are your leaders in your most important positions. And I think we have that.
When we post interviews, I was going to say, we'll tag you on Twitter. Chief, you're not on Twitter, are you?
No, I'm not. No
social
interest? Media for me.
No interest, huh?
No, thanks.
Well, thanks for your time.
You got it. Anytime. Thank you and take care.
Always great to catch up with Craig Berube. I got to tell you, from a media standpoint, I know you see him behind the bench and very stern, tough guy, no doubt about it, but very accessible, doesn't get mad, whatever you ask him, easy to deal with. Great to catch up with Chief, the Stanley Cup winning coach, Craig Berube. Looking forward to next season already, whenever that may start. Hope you enjoyed the conversation as well. Make sure you get subscribed, iTunes, YouTube, Spotify. Just get signed up, and then whether we're talking racing with Kenny Wallace, talking hockey with Joey Vitale, or Kelly Chase, or Craig Berube, baseball with John Mozeliak, Ozzie Smith, Willie McGee, all of those interviews can come straight to you as long as you make sure and subscribe. It's easy to do. The Kilcoyne Conversation presented by Triad Bank, Marie de Villa Senior Living, Appliance Discounters, and B&G Tuck Pointing. Make sure you take care of the sponsors, and we'll talk to you again soon.